Good morning. My name's Daniel Long. I'm a photographer based here in the Cairngorms National Park. Today I've come to a little patch of woodlands just around my house. It's not too far away. It's sort of been my refuge during the COVID pandemic, to be honest. Often coming out here for walks without the camera just to get out of the house and, you know, experience a bit of nature. I decided to come here because it is a bit wet and cloudy and a bit dark and dingy, and I thought it might be nice to get some of the forest, even though it's the summer, to get some of the forest in a quite atmospheric context. So as you can see around me, there's these lovely birch trees and this wonderful carpet of grass and moss. So I'm hoping to exploit that a bit and get some different compositions. As the trees are quite well spaced, I shouldn't have too much problem with conflicting background. And so although this isn't a foggy day, I think I should get some nice images. Especially exploiting the darkness of what is going on today with the weather. Honestly, you wouldn't think it was summer here in Scotland. It's very dark and wet and quite chilly actually, but we live with what we got, and Scotland is renowned for its wet weather, to be honest. So moving on from that, I'm going to have a look around, see what compositions I can find and set up for a few shots. I might do some ICM later as well if I feel like it. But it is absolutely wonderful conditions for some forest photography. The only problem I'm having is midges, and they're always a problem. Hopefully the bug repellent will work. Let's see. So I found my first exposure of the morning. There's this wonderful gnarled old birch tree with a lot of cracked bark and this interesting form. So I've got that as my main subject in the centre of the frame. Behind it is a series of smaller birch trees, which is a little distracting, to be honest, but I think it kind of works. It sort of gives the essence of the forest. I'm going to actually underexpose by one stop to make it really dark and dingy, which is giving me a setting of ISO 100, f11, 1.3 seconds. I've just got to turn on the 2-second timer. Yeah. And off we go. There we go. Right, I'm gonna have to keep moving. Bloody midges. So my second composition this morning is going to be a picture of this clump of 4 birch trees, literally like that in composition. So I'm going quite low to the ground, close and wide to try and get the effect that I want. And the other thing I have is a trusty trail umbrella, because the wind keeps knocking off some raindrops over the camera, so I don't want it to get any droplets on the front element. So I'm just going to check my composition and then I might recompose. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to take a shot and then I might fiddle with it a bit and see if I can get it any better. Again, I'm sort of underexposing by one stop. So I'm at ISO 100 f4 to try and blur the trees a bit in the background, and 1/8 of a second. So There we go. I'm in a bit of an open area now, but it's got this nice path cutting through the grass. There's this nice birch tree on the right, and another little clump of trees a bit further back on the left. So I'm exposing correctly this time, because I'm not emphasising the darkness of the forest, but I wanted to capture the rain a bit and show off the bad conditions. Really, it looks quite cool. So I've got f11, ISO 100 and 1/6 of a second. There we go. Oh, that looks quite nice actually. I'm looking forward to editing that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So to finish off my morning, I've decided to do a bit of ICM. The light is starting to pick up a bit, and that's sort of diminishing the forest qualities that I was trying to capture this morning. But these birch trees are a wonderful medium for creating ICM, because they add these wonderful bright streaks through the picture. And with this grass, this blanket of silvery white greeny coloured grass, I think that'll add a nice colour dimension to the picture. There's a raven around. So I'm going to just expose the camera to the rain a bit. I'm not too worried about raindrops falling on the element, because I'm kind of curious if that will add like a little circular distortion to the ICM pictures, and as I'm already creating a distorted image, I'm not too worried about that, and it might create a pleasing effect. So I've set it up at ISO 100. I'm gonna slow it down a bit to half a second, and it's at f11, and I'm gonna move the camera in an up and down direction to follow the growth pattern of the trees, and see what we get. I'm hopeful it's going to turn out good. So, ready. Okay. That was a bit too slow movement on my part. Ready? Interesting. Go again. Interesting. So I'm going to fiddle around with this, try some different locations, and just have a bit of fun with it. I'll see you in a second. Yeah, that's the one. Took a bit of trial and error, but I eventually got the image that I was after. So next one's just here, got a bit of orangey moss in the foreground. Let's see if that comes out in the ICM. Worked out well. So this is going to be my last one this morning. I'm sort of shooting down a path. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope it turns out well. pretty much the same settings. I've turned it off the 2-second timer because that was throwing off my rhythm of moving the camera a bit. I'm going to try it first in landscape and then I'll have a look and see if I want to do it in portrait. As you can see, it does take a bit of trial and error. I've just taken several images. I'm happy with a couple of them, that one in particular. I'm just going to switch to portrait and see if that works as well. Quite like that. Actually, I think it works better in portrait, so I'll put up both and let me know in the comments below which one you prefer. So that's it for today's video. I've got some nice images. I'm quite happy. I'm glad I got up at God knows what hour and came out this morning. It's always better to get some images that you're happy with than to not go out at all. You've got to be in it to win it, so to speak. So I'm quite happy with those images. I hope you like them, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to the channel. It will keep me encouraged to keep making videos, going out and exploring, especially as in the next week or two, Scotland is lifting the restriction on travel, which is brilliant, which means I can do some more stuff that I've got planned, which was a bit disrupted by the coronavirus. So there's a lot more wildlife videos coming up. There'll be a lot more landscape videos. I'll be heading out on longer hikes instead of staying down here in the forest and trying to escape these midges. So there's a lot of good content coming up. There's a lot of good videos coming up that I'm looking forward to going out and taking pictures. If you want to check out the pictures for yourself, there's a link below to my website where you can see the pictures from today. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.